Namaste, welcome back. As you can see, we are in an ocean monument. And I've already cleared it out and dried it out. And here is where we're going to build a guardian farm. So I've taken this central area and torn out any of the interior walls. And then I patched up any holes in the walls and ceilings, matching the pre-existing stripy prismarine block pattern, so it's all uniform. And what I'm planning to do with this space is to implement a guardian farm using a guardian funnel as developed by Cirque. I'll put a link in the show notes to see his design. What I wanted to do that was a little bit different before I went looking for design inspiration was to actually use the interior of the monument. So I don't need the super big multi-layer, several layer farm that uses up the entire spawnable area of the guardians. I just want something that I can AFK and get a little bit of prismarine and materials for lamps and such like that. So I thought, let's just hollow out this part and then look for designs of what to build in here. So I'm going to build a funnel, and I looked at the idea here is that we have water source blocks coming in from the sides, and that will push the guardians that spawn in the one deep water into a 6x6 hole, and we'll just have a drop kill under them. Unfortunately, this space, the widest space that I can get that's 7 high, is not long enough to put a full 2 cells next to each other, so 4 total cells in the space. So I thought, let's just build one here and have it drop and see how the spawn rates are. And we can always build another one on top of it, and we could even join cells and just have the water flow an incomplete 8 blocks on either side or something like that. But I was hoping what we could do would be to put 2 cells here eventually, and then have the storage come up either a dropper elevator or shoot them up through glass was probably more efficient server resource wise, and have them come up into a storage area here. And then out here I started already glassing this in over the outside. This is the main outside entrance to the monument, and I started glassing that in using this cyan glass. And so that's a project that I'll do eventually and finish that up. So that'll all be enclosed, and so it'll have water between these pillars. And I thought we'd move this portal out into there, so when you first come in, you'll be you'll be in the water enclosed area, and then you can walk in here, and we'll have a hallway going that way to get into the storage area, I assume. And maybe that storage area there will just be redstone sorting and all that to feed into chests that are available here to pick things up. I'd like to make it as clean as possible, so maybe just have chests exposed here for each of the materials that the farm generates, and then have everything behind the scenes feed into that and refill those chests as you take things out. So the next step here is to dig down. There are caves underneath this, especially this end. There's a spider spawner out that way and down at the level 11, Y11. Under here, I'm not sure that there are caves, and so I thought I'd build on this side, digging out the drop under here. And or the other option I can have is to actually lay out the funnel and just have the beginning of the drop to make sure that the spawns drop in there. The problem is I don't want to have to shut the water off once I get it going in the first level. So my thought is to dig out the 6x6 hole all the way down to, say, Y6, where I'll put hoppers below, and we can shovel them off to the side where we have some dropper elevator that shoots up through glass into this half. So there'll be a dividing wall in here somewhere, 8 away from the edge of this, and we'll have water flow that way. So there'll be a wall here that I need to build. There's a hole here that I need to dig, and at some point We're actually going to have 2 air blocks between pads. So that's an air block, that's an air block, that's a floor. That's an air block, that's an air block, that's a floor. And then we could go one more level down. Unfortunately, right under here is water. And so it could be problematic to dig that out and establish a new floor level. But in either case, I think since the ceiling's pre-existing, the floor is pre-existing, the walls and all that, we're using the walls already as part of the structure. And so it would be okay to leave 3 at the top, floor, and then 2 here, and a floor, and the floor. Actually, no, we don't need that. We've got floor, 1, 2, 3 spaces, floor, 1, 2, 3. So we don't gain anything by squeezing it down to 2 air spaces, which was one of Cirque's ideas. So let's just go with 3 air spaces and floor. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we can come back. So the question is, do I set up the top level first over the drop? And that would be good because once I get water going in there and there are guardians spawning, if I do it down here, they're going to be shooting me while I try to put in the floor up here. So I would need to build the bottom and at least the floor of the second tier. Or I could just do the second tier floor and put in the corners and the waters and the hole. So I'm going to start by doing that one, and we can always fill the other one in later. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the first layer of the hole dug, and I dropped gravel in along the edges to create a space that's just filled with water, but the sides are all solid. I also put in these corner pieces that prevent when the funnel, this level of the funnel is filled in, it prevents this whole thing from filling with water blocks, becoming water source blocks. Can't have this corner there, so I have these blocking those, and I did that side as well. I'll do the same for the upper level, which is what we're actually going to build out. But first I need to dry this out, and I actually forgot my sponges, so I had to run back to base to get these. Let's put a little stand of gravel down here in the bottom. I could fill more of this with gravel first, but I think this one sponge ought to take care of most of that. Nope. Alright, good thing I got 33 of them. So I needed to be higher up when I did that. There we go, and let's get that lower one, and there we go. Let's light this hole, and we have some wet sponges and a dry hole. So that part of the... I got this one on the wall. Okay, so we have a walled hole. I need to dig down now that we've got it at this level. And then I will come back to you when I've got that dug. All right, the hole is dug. And the floor is in for the second level. And I also, since I don't have enough ice to facilitate a quick, efficient filling of the levels, I put infinite water sources in the corners since I needed those 2 block spaces anyway. So I did the same up here. So now it's just a matter of me filling this guy up here every other block. And once I have that done, we'll come back and see whether we get spawns. Now I recognize that since I've got... Actually, I don't need to go all the way back there. I only need to get it started because once I have those, that will refill. Anyway, I recognize that since we've got so many guardians spawning outside, since we didn't empty out the cube, the entire volume of the space in which the guardians can spawn, we're going to have fewer spawns in here. Now, like I said, I'm not expecting thousands of spawns an hour, or thousands of drops per hour or anything like that, like the original design can do. I just want something that would generate some drops. And so we're going to find out how well this can do that once we get all of this filled in. Is there more? Okay, all the water's filled in, and it looks like no matter where I go, the water's going to push me toward that edge. And I haven't seen any spawns. It'll probably help to eliminate those. Actually, let's empty these out too while we're at it, because we don't want any varmints spawning in there. Actually, you know what? Since it's an infinite water source, I'm going to need to fill it with, say, gravel. And we're going to want to do something to keep other mobs from spawning in here. Maybe we fill it up with something cheap. For now, it'll be... Oh, you know what? I can just make this whole thing like this. This way we got something to do while we're up here waiting to see whether we get decent spawns. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to need to fill this in here, this wall. So let's empty these out. Get rid of these. Okay, dig that out. This one we're actually going to need to fill in. Oh no, we don't. Actually, if we leave that bottom one water, nothing can spawn there except for guardians, but they would be trapped there if we do that. I can put some half slabs down there. Not half slabs. They're not half slabs. Thank you, Corvus. They're slabs. Yeah, let's leave that one for now. Take these torches. It's going to get dark for you, so I apologize. Almost lost that torch. Okay, not seeing any spawns up here yet. It's a little bit disconcerting. Are we using TBM? Yeah. That's my tunnel boring machine. Oh, actually, yeah, tunnel boring machine is the one without silk touch. That's the one I want to be using right now. Okay, so they're not going to spawn here while I'm up here because I'm too close to them, of course. Okay, I probably should have done this part first before I took the torch out so that you could see. I apologize. Okay, and we want to wall this part in like we did with the other part. No. That's supposed to be prismarine. Okay, switch to prismarine. Let's put that in that corner. And prismarine brick. Dunk, dunk. And we need a wall up here. I could put a glass wall up here. I don't really see... Oh, you know what? If we don't do something here, mobs can spawn on this. So we also need to do something here. So let's put some prismarine on there. Now it's going to get really dark for you. Again, I apologize. I'll do a little bit of lightening in the post-processing. But I don't want to blow it out, so you know what I'm doing. I'm filling in those blocks. So it's going to be all dark up in here. That should help the spawns. And let's see, we're going to want prismarine and prismarine brick here. So let's get prismarine there in the 5 hole, and prismarine brick in the 6 spot. Fill these in. And stand on the ladder for the last part. And there we go, sound effects and everything. Alright, so we got that part. And it's actually relatively easy to fill in the rest of this. Once I get going on one of these corners. So let's see, what do we do here? We can actually put torches in these corners since we're going to have them sealed. So let's stick those in there for right now. That's going to actually, yeah. I'm going to put one there and there. That way I don't have to seal this whole bloody corner of business in. Get the bricks that and blocks that went in there. Okay. This is good. So let's fill this other side in. I'm going to get rid of these torches and do this, and come back to you after I have this filled in. Because it's going to get dark and you're not going to be able to see anything anyway. Okay, this is all filled in, and now it's time to block this off. It's going to get dark again. Go, and let's get this far corner. It's like all the flows are going the right direction and the right... Oops, that's not right. 7, point, point. Oh, actually we don't need that side, we only need... We need this part that we're going to have to close this off because we need a wall here. Yeah, like that. And so prismarine here. Doesn't really matter. As long as it's here, then it's okay. No. 7. There we go. Okay. And we need it along here. So I'm going to be cut off from my portal. Except I can go through here. Okay, so let's see. How am I going to be able to do this without... That's my corner, so as long as this is sealed, then we're okay. That'll be dark in there. So we don't actually need this one either. So it's getting dark in there. Yep, okay. So let's lay in some prismarine here. And that piece of prismarine brick, we should be good to go here. And we don't actually need these. Okay, and we don't need these. Just to economize a little bit on the brick. And that means we don't actually need these. Okay. Now it's getting dark in there. Okay, darkness. All right, now let's go down to check on the hole. Alright, well, it turns out that guardians won't spawn in only one deep water, so it was time to change the approach. And so I've gone to creating water flows that push into this ditch, and I'm in the process of digging out this ditch down to 6, and look what I found. I hit an abandoned mine shaft, which is good from a resource standpoint, and it's bad from the standpoint that that means that there's a lot of cavern space, mine shaft space I need to clear out so mobs aren't, or at least light, so that the mob cap's not affected by all those mob spawns. So I got all that water flow done, and let's see, I'm going to be able to drop the floor of the above chamber by 1. And then, I'm not sure that I'll do that, but I can drop it by 1. I guess I will. And that'll give me more spawnable space. Let's see if I can make this. Yep, okay. And we're just going to create all the rest of this space above here will just be filled with water. And we'll put, actually no, we won't move the floor down because those are going to be fences. And then we'll take this floor, or what's the floor of the above area, and we'll fill that with water. And we'll just have that little bit of water. Actually, it's not a little bit, it's a fair amount. And yeah, mobs will spawn in there and drop through the, well, guardians will spawn in there and drop through the fences and into the flow, and then down to their, plummet to their deaths. And I will collect their goodies. And that's a whole lot of work done. So you can see the hole is quite a bit deeper. All of the, well, the entire farm is done. I've got all the hoppers in place down there. And up here, we've got the area with the water and the signs between and the flows. So let me back out of here and rebuild this, so it looks all purdy again. And let's see, I think that goes like that. There. So here's the entrance to the Guardian Farm. There's a nice little portal here that goes to the entrance of the Ocean Monument. I glassed that all in. This guy just leads back to my nether terminus at the base. And we've got a top of an item elevator here. So let me go down to the bottom and show you from the bottom up what we've got. This is the abandoned mine shaft. I blocked in that wall there and cleared the abandoned mine shaft. And if we take this down even farther, we get down to the inner workings of the Guardian Farm. Through here we've got the hoppers and the chasm that the mobs drop in, the guardians drop in. Back around this way is the workings of the item elevator. So here's the hoppers all feed in to a hopper on the other side of this dropper, and it goes into the dropper. This little clock makes the dropper shoot the items into this water stream up against that wall. Once they're up against that wall, they can slide along here and into this area and up this glass column that goes up to the top. Now I did a little test on this guy for an hour and counted the drops that I got from it, and this little farm with relative to emptying the ocean, that the effort for this little farm is pretty good returns. I think it generated 589 prismarine shards and 152 prismarine crystals and 197 raw fish. So if we go up to the top here, I'll show you the top. This is the continuation of that item elevator. It comes out on top here in this water and goes down into this hopper. From this hopper, goes down into this row of hoppers and down into an item sorter. On the other side of this wall is an access hole that I made to be able to get into. Let me drink a potion of night vision so you can see here. This is the area that's filled with water. So we've got 4 Y levels full of water in this whole space, and then out here, if we swim out here, we go over that, the drop off. If we go down here, we would drop down through the ladders and be pushed into the water stream and down onto those hoppers down below. And so these are the hoppers that drop down to the item sorter. So that's the top of the item sorter. Through here is the rest of the item sorter system. So they come in here, get sorted into chests on the other side of this wall. So really this side is the only part that people need to visit. This is where the prismarine shards go. This is where the prismarine crystals go. This is where the raw fish go, and then this is where other fish and any other items that happen to drop into the hoppers go. And so one can just simply sit over here by the portal and watch the item elevator for their prismarine shards and crystals and fish to float up the item elevator. There's some right now. And just go AFK for a while and go collect their booty when they're ready. They can throw it in that ender chest that I put there, or or use the crafting table that's there for anybody who wants to use this farm. And this, as I said, goes into the nether. So this connects to the nether hub. There are signs all throughout my nether terminus, so this goes back to the base. So if you come back up this hallway and just look for the signs, it'll lead you right to it for anybody who happens to be on the server. And yeah, this is a really good little project. I appreciated the relatively small amount of effort that it took to do it, and I was able to get the crystals that I needed and shards that I needed to put lanterns, sea lanterns in the base, and have all the fish I could possibly want. So thanks for watching. Namaste.